Let's just say that this guy likes scaring people.
Became embroiled in a nightmarish and savage attack. Among the handful of survivors is a police officer.
This demonstration used just 5 ounces of my latest toxin. Tomorrow, this will seem like child's play.
The son of a father obsessed with understanding and controlling fear, Jonathan Crane was used as a subject for illegal experiments from a young age following the death of his mother. Repeatedly locked in a small room beneath the floor and dosed with fear-inducing toxins, he became completely unhinged after his father unexpectedly died in the middle of an experiment. Jonathan was left for days starving and terrified in a small pit. Even after he was finally rescued, he spent years deeply traumatized by this experience before ultimately deciding to become the master of fear. Initially working as a professor and later as a clinical psychologist, he finds his psychopathy does not lend itself to traditional practice of his chosen trade. Taking on the name Scarecrow, he begins a life of crime in constant pursuit of perfecting his fear toxin. In his earliest appearances, Scarecrow was a professor of psychology who was ridiculed by his peers for his clothes and behavior. He decided to become a criminal to feed his desire for books as well as to afford nicer clothing to fit in with his peers. Shortly after his first criminal outing, he was fired for his unusual teaching methods, including firing a gun in his classroom while teaching about fear. This version of the character was not particularly obsessed with fear and wielded a gun rather than fear gas. His criminal endeavors were restricted to protection, rackets, and theatrical robberies. During the modern age, Scarecrow's backstory was significantly expanded upon. Originally from Georgia, Jonathan Crane was the bastard son of a rich family in decline. Ignored by his mother and despised by his grandmother, he was raised primarily by his religious and sadistic great-grandmother. He was repeatedly locked in a cathedral where he was attacked by crows that had been trained by his great-grandmother for this purpose. Constantly abused both at home and at school, he learned the importance of fear, control, and knowledge. As an adult, he sought employment as a professor and, as in his previous iterations, was dismissed for firing a gun in class. Notably, this version of the character became a career criminal only after being fired from his job. This version of the character was also much more adept with chemistry and psychopharmacology than his previous iterations. During this age, the Scarecrow was briefly mutated into the feral Scarebeast, a massively powerful monster. As the Scarebeast, he was superhumanly powerful and durable, and could release a powerful hallucinogen. Also during this age, he lost the ability to feel fear. In the New 52, it introduced his current origin and powers. Notably, his abusive backstory was altered so that his father was the main perpetrator while his mother, who had previously been alive, if neglectful, died early in his childhood. His turn to criminality is also markedly different, as he was fired from his professorship for covering a phobic student with spiders, and became a criminal after stabbing a patient to death. Unlike his previous incarnation, he appears to be capable of experiencing fear. So are you a fan of the Master of Fear? Make sure to subscribe and leave a like for more, and of course, as always, I'd like to see you all next time.
Do you really think you've won? Fear makes you predictable.